Everybody, it is Doug. We are driving up to the Highlands in North Carolina, but I'd like to talk to you about my Casio G-Shock GM5600 metal. Highlands is a neat place. It's this little historic mountain town that is quite posh. And in fact, from what I understand, there are 9 billionaires that have residence here. So, and it's out in the middle of nowhere in the North Carolina mountains. But it's a great place for a day trip and dinner and all that kind of stuff. But then also, of course, to talk about watches. And so a little bit more of a posh G-Shock is this metal square, the GM5600. Very, very nice G-Shock. What are the special things about this GM5600 in silver? Well, I love the aesthetic of it, and I absolutely love the contrast between the silver and the black. It just is so striking to me. And it wears like a dream. Obviously, most G-Shocks do. Even though it's got metal, it is very, very light. You never even really notice this thing. And you can do anything with it. I was cutting the grass earlier today. In fact, there's the grass that I cut. But but like I said, it's an awesome watch. It looks really nice, but still has that G-Shock toughness. It does have the functionality, although, as I will describe in a little bit more limited than some of the other G-Shocks out there. But for a more of an aesthetically pleasing and kind of, for lack of a better word, fashion-oriented G-Shock, I don't think they come much nicer than this GM5600. And another thing that's critically important to me, a lot of you out there who especially may have younger eyes, my eyes are starting to go a little bit, and even though this is a negative display, I have no problem reading this. And I need readers. So, I mean, if I'm looking at things, like if I'm looking at my mechanical watch like this, actually this one's pretty clear, but if it's darker, I sometimes have a little bit of trouble seeing it. Well, and the date. Not so much the watch and the hands, but the date. Whereas this thing, I can read everything on it. It's so easy to read. So, very, very nice watch. Videos, I like to do wrist shots from a little bit of a distance. Here is the watch on my 7.25 inch wrist, and for my European friends, that is 184 millimeters. The watch in this way is about 50 millimeters. It's about 43 coming across, and I believe it's 12.9 or almost 13 millimeters tall. So that gives you an idea of the height of it. It's not very tall at all. And on the wrist, once again, I think it wears like a dream. It's super duper comfortable, obviously. This strap is a nicer strap than the ones that are like the, the GA5600 or whatever, just the regular all resin ones are. It's a little bit higher quality strap on this one. And for comparison's sake, I do have my Submariner here. This is affectionately known as the Starbucks, but it's one of the newer subs. It's a 41 millimeter, but it gives you an idea of what this watch looks like in relationship to a standard analog type watch. But very, very sharp. I love the silver one. I just love the contrast between the silver, black. I just think it looks phenomenal. People ask me, because I had the black one previously, why did I get rid of the black? Because I really liked it. And there was 2 reasons why I ended up not keeping it. One is that this buckle here on the black one is silver, and I love the black metal, but it bugged me that the little tang buckle here was not also black. So that to me, like I said, kind of irked me. The other thing is it looked almost a little bit too much like a smartwatch. I mean, I do have an Apple Watch that I rarely wear, but it just looked like a smartwatch. And this thing, it looks like metal, and you didn't really get the impression with the black one like that. And like I said, I just like the contrast, and who knows, maybe I just like shinier things. But this one I think really, really looks nice. And if you look at the bezel, the way it catches the light, when it hits that light, that brushed finish around the bezel is really quite sharp. So I think it really stands out nicely. But a beautiful watch, and once again, from a little bit of a distance. So let's look at the functions that are on the GM5600. Now, admittedly, there's not a lot. It's not the most feature-rich of the G-Shocks, but it is very capable, but it's just not loaded with, GMT, multi-zones and multiple alarms and so on and so forth. But when you first start, of course, you've got your time. This also has the date up here, and then of course the day, which today is Wednesday. And then as you scroll through, you actually scroll through on the lower left hand. It's about like the 8 o'clock time position, if you will. But then the next thing is the alarm. And you can also set this, there's only one alarm on this, but you can set the hourly alarm. So at the top of every hour, it does do a beep beep, or you could turn that off if you don't want that to go on. I've always put that on my G-Shocks. It's one of the things I absolutely love about G-Shocks is that they have that little hourly chime. But then the next item after the alarm is the countdown timer. So this is actually set for 35 minutes right now. So, whoops, I'm sorry, that was the, I shouldn't have done that one. That is the, in fact, let's look at that. That is the light. But this is how you would start it. So I just, doing a countdown timer on, once again, 35 minutes here. So, and then the next item, whoops. So alarm, countdown timer, and then stopwatch. And for the stopwatch, of course, you can start it, and you can stop it, and then you clear it with the top left. So, and that's it. And if you'll notice, when you go from function to function, it's beep, 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 but then you'll listen to this beep. It's a high-pitched one to let you know that you're back at the starting point. So those are the functions that are on the GM5600. And I'm just doing a little bit closer up shots here. Oh, and one very nice feature about this, it does have those quick release so that you can change out the bands. I would love to try to find, like a camo or something on this, which I think would be pretty cool. Especially, for me, with this one being the silver, I'm kind of, envisioning maybe like a white, black, gray camo. But here is the watch, and once again, a little bit more close up for you to really see it. And once again, these pushers here are dramatically larger than just a regular 5600 watch. So it just makes it a lot easier to use. And in fact, let me do one more thing. I'm going to turn off the lights. I lowered the lights a little bit, but I wanted to show you what the light looks like on the watch itself. So it is a bluish green. I have this set. I think you can set it for 1 second or 3 seconds, and I believe I have mine set for 3. But yeah, really, really quite sharp. Well, I hope you enjoyed my little mini review of the Casio G-Shock GM5600. It is a nice watch, and if you're thinking about getting it, my recommendation is do it.